Live from Bangkok, this is BBC News. Our correspondent Yogita Limai enters Myanmar, one of the first foreign journalists to reach the city of Mandalay since Friday's powerful earthquake. She finds a city struggling to cope.
There's a shortage of medicines, of blood. The Myanmar government has put out an appeal for all of those things, but much more is needed here.
The leader of Myanmar's military regime announces a temporary ceasefire with rebels. He'll travel here to Thailand for a regional summit on Thursday. And the number of people killed is now almost 2,900, but many more are still missing. Good evening from the Thai capital, Bangkok. I'm Anna Foster, and search efforts are still going on, both here and in Myanmar, to find survivors of Friday's huge earthquake that hit this region. The BBC's Yogita Limai has become one of the first foreign journalists to enter Myanmar since the quake and has compiled an exclusive report on what she found there. The military government says the number of people to have died in Friday's quake is nearing 2,900. But as you'll see from Yogita's report, the actual death toll could be much higher. And Yogita joins me now here in Bangkok. We saw there just a small amount of what you witnessed in the few days that you were inside the country, but clearly a huge amount of destruction. Yogita, stay with me. Let's speak to James Roadhaver now, who's chief of the Myanmar team for the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. James, you and I spoke about this just the other day, the difficulty of not just getting aid into the country, but getting it around the country. We heard there some of the scenes that Yogita has seen, but in particular those people who are still, even now, days later, waiting for some sort of help to arrive. James Roadhaver, thank you so much for joining us, and Yogita is still with me. And on that point that James was just making there, that is also something that you raise in your report as well, the fact that when you have covered this kind of natural disaster elsewhere, and I've seen it when I've covered this kind of natural disaster elsewhere, often a country's military will be mobilised to help the victims, but that doesn't seem to be what you saw. Clearly, so many issues that people are facing, and as we've said, Yogita has become one of the first foreign journalists to enter Myanmar since the quake, and she has compiled this exclusive report on what she found there. The military government says that the number of people to have died in that powerful quake on Friday is nearing 2,900, but as you will see in just a moment from Yogita's report, the actual death toll could be much higher. The BBC's Burmese service has been reporting from the heart of the Myanmar earthquake, but the ruling military government, which seized power in 2021, has not allowed foreign journalists into the country since the disaster. And that is why Yogita travelled there undercover to show the extent of the earthquake and to witness the aftermath. She made it through to Mandalay, close to the epicentre. Here is her full report. And just to warn you, you may find some of the images, particularly at the beginning, a difficult watch. Yogita, such a powerful report that we just saw there from Mandalay. Some of the images that you saw, we were talking about the images of destruction, but also you were really struck by the plight of those who are now outside, people who don't have shelter, people who are waiting for help, in some cases which is not arriving. Yogita, thank you so much for your reporting, for being with us, for telling us more about it. And if you want to read more about Yogita's trip into Myanmar, you can find that on the BBC News website. But we'll leave you for now with some of the powerful images from her reporting.
You're watching BBC News. Thanks to Anna and our team there in Bangkok. Let's turn to our other main headlines here. Well, we're just hours away from Donald Trump's major announcement on new tariffs. How high will they be? Which countries will be affected? And what impact will they have on global trade? Our correspondent is the first foreign journalist to reach Mandalay, the epicentre of the deadly earthquake in Myanmar, where she finds the city struggling to cope.
There's a shortage of medicines, of blood. The Myanmar government has put out an appeal for all of those things, but much more is needed here.
Here at Verify, we've been looking at 2 strikes this morning in Gaza and what it means for the people there.
Well, more on all of those stories, especially tariffs. We'll be looking in great detail at what we might expect from Donald Trump. But let's catch up with all the sports news of the evening.
Matthew, thank you very much. 6 Premier League matches to come later for you, with the leaders Liverpool returning to action for the first time since losing the League Cup final last month. Matthew, that's all the sport for now. More from us later.
Well, thanks very much. Now, let's return to the countdown to Donald Trump's major announcement on tariffs. The US president may call it Liberation Day, but there's trepidation and alarm in many of the world's capitals. What we don't know is the level of the tariffs or the number of countries which will be affected. What we do know is that Donald Trump has said many times it is going to be big. Well, over the next few hours in the build-up to that announcement, we'll try to gauge the impact of these tariffs, the sort of retaliation we're likely to see, and the effect they'll have on jobs, on prices, on trade. So let's start at the place where this announcement is going to be made, the White House. Katrina Perry is there for us. And Katrina, I know we're a couple of hours away, but just set the scene for us. Richard Irvin Brown. Let's end the programme where we started. Events there in Myanmar. Yugita Lamai bringing us that special report, the first foreign journalist who's been there in Myanmar on the ground. Let's end today's programme with some of the images from her report. Thanks for watching. See you at the same time tomorrow.
Hello. High pressure continues to bring dry, sunny weather for most of the